This is how my story began. Not in a laboratory, not in a boardroom, but with a paintbrush in my hand and a group of children in Zanzibar who had forgotten how to smile. We didn't share a language, but we shared something deeper, the need to heal. As colors began to fill in the room, I saw something extraordinary. Children who had been quiet started to laugh. Tears turned into pictures, and the pain turned into a possibility. And I learned something that day I'll never forget. Healing isn't only about medicine, it's about the heart. And that story began long before I ever held this brush. In 2021, during the quiet of quarantine, I was just 9 years old. The world had gone still. Streets were empty. Schools were silent. Even the air felt heavy, full of fear and uncertainty. Then I heard our leader, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, say, "Let Shillun ham. Don't worry, we will take care of you." Those words did more than just comfort a nation. They carried leadership through compassion. Even as a child, I felt the power. It was as if someone had reached through the noise of the world and said, "You were safe, you were seen." I watched how the UAE didn't just care for its own nation and its own people. It extended that care beyond borders, sending help to other nations in need. And I began to think, if a leadership can act with such courage and kindness, then even a child can make a difference too. That thought became my compass and led me months later to Zanzibar. In Zanzibar, I saw mothers walking miles for water, children waiting outside of clinics that had no doctors. I joined a team helping build a small hospital, a place where hope could breathe again. But what stayed with me wasn't the construction site. It was the children who watched us work. Children who wanted to play but didn't know how anymore. So one day, I unpacked a small box of paints and brushes, just like the one I hold today, and I asked, "Would you like to draw?" At first, they hesitated. Then one little girl from across the room came in and dipped her paintbrush into a blue paint and began. Soon after, every child in the room joined us in painting suns, oceans, life, and dream. And I realized something profound. One spark of compassion, one creative act could ripple outward and transform lives. And I leave you with this video. That experience changed how I saw the world. It made me wonder, maybe compassion isn't just a feeling. Maybe it's a kind of energy. Invisible, powerful, and full of possibility. Like quantum energy, unseen, yet capable of creating massive change. In quantum physics, they say a single particle can exist in many states at once. And I began to think, maybe people are like that too. Maybe within each of us are infinite possibilities waiting to be unlocked when courage, kindness, and compassion come together. That's when the idea of quantum humanity was born. A vision to reimagine the Gulf, not only as a hub of technology and innovation, but as a beacon of human flourishing. The future doesn't begin in laboratories or boardrooms. It begins in the mind. And a quantum mindset means thinking beyond step-by-step logic and embracing leaps, connections, and possibilities that others can't yet see. It's believing that innovation isn't something we build, it's something we become. Imagine a classroom where students use neurofeedback headsets to understand emotion, focus, and stress. Not to control their minds, but to understand how their minds work. That's innovation with empathy. Science that begins with self-awareness. Technology is our amplifier. It reveals what's already within us. And when it's built with compassion, it becomes a bridge between the minds and hearts. And seeing as this is a really important thing, this compassion isn't just about having feelings to others, but it's our humanity. Imagine a Gulf Research Center where scientists, artists, and engineers work side by side, designing tools that not just measure intelligence, but nurture humanity. Technology that expands imagination. Technology that heals emotion. Technology that serves people, not replaces them. Because the greatest progress isn't measured by GDP or skyscrapers, but by empathy, imagination, and well-being. Our Gulf's cultural identity, built on hospitality, storytelling, and resilience, already holds the values the world needs the most. And when we say "لا تشيلون هم," we're not just offering comfort. We're expressing a philosophy of collective care that neuroscience now proves enhances emotional health. And our youth, with their adaptable, curious minds, are the quantum catalysts of the future. When nurtured with trust and imagination, they can transform the region from a consumer of knowledge into a creator of wisdom. Standing in Zanzibar, I thought we were building a hospital. Now I realize we were building something deeper. We were building a connection. We want a future and a generation where every child grows up knowing that their mind is limitless, their compassion is powerful, and their creativity can change the world. So I leave you with one question. What if the Gulf invested as much in brain health, creativity, and compassion as it does in oil and technology? Let that sink in. Thank you.